Hello again, Lockpicking Paul here. What I've got tonight is a GeGe pExtra. So it has the same nasty GeGe serrated pins and a few other tricks in here which make life a little bit hard. It's got a really quite a gnarly keyway. It's got a trap pin in it, which when you've got it picked, you can't get a 360. You've got to locate the trap pin, which is right at the back of the lock, and press a detent, which will push the driver pin, which has dropped into one of the traps in the cylinder, back up into the Bible, so you can get the lock rotated. So even when you've got it picked, it's not going to play ball. It's got counter milling. Or key control pins. It's a fun pick. Actually, it does, to be fair, pick a little bit easier than your average GeGe. I don't think the tolerances are as great in here, but it's still definitely not a gimme. Quite a fun lock, if I'm honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this stuck in a vise. I'm going to get it all focused. Then hopefully we'll get it picked and gutted. And we'll show you the coolness inside this lock. All right, I will see you in a minute. Right then, let's see if we can get this opened. It's going to use steady tension, I'm not going to vary it until things sort of bind up, and then I'll release some tension. I'm just going to cycle through each of the pins. And that sort of lines everything up into the into one of the spool grooves, ready for putting it through the shear line. The lock doesn't give a lot of feedback. Tiny movement, imperceptible to the eye, but you can feel it through the tension wrench, like that, and it'll make a particular sound. It's a much sharper sound as you get a pin set. Like that. And each movement, each time you get that sound, you get a tiny amount of core movement. Really rather satisfying, actually. Right, everything feels quite locked up. Oh no, there you go, had one on the back. Yeah, it reaches a point where nothing then is moving. And at that point you want to start backing off the tension, because your pins are sort of ready to go through a shear line. Pretty certain 1 and 2 is set. Bit more core movement. We're getting there. back off just a little bit. Don't want to drop anything, but yeah, drop something, but we'll get it back. Good, that was good core movement then. Yeah, there you go. Now, as I rotate it, it'll jam. Stop right there. And that is the trap pin. This could be a bit tricky, so I'm going to use this. Where's my camera? Right. So it's a hybrid half diamond, and let's see if we can zoom in on that. Change the focus to multi. There you go. So really shallow hybrid half diamond, and I'm going to slot that down this channel here. Yeah. So this down here. Come on, focus. Change the focus back to manual. Run it down this channel here, so it's in line with the pins. And I'm going to run it down to position 5, which is where the trap pin is. If I can get in there. It's really tight. I think this is pretty much the only pick that I can fit down here and hit the pin with. I've tried with a scimitar and that doesn't work. So I've got to put it in and sort of rotate it slightly. Might take us an attempt or two to get it in. That gets stuck on me. It'd be very disappointing to pick a GeGe open and then not get the trap pin. Fiddly little critter. There you go. Got it. So right now it is 180 degrees, and if I stick this in the bottom here and free those pins, we can continue on and we can complete the open if we weren't going to gut it. And I am going to gut it, so I'm going to put that back upside down so we can gut it and show you the pinning and that funky trap pin. So let's get this out of the way. Put that on there. And zoom out, I think, would probably make life a little bit different, better. More of a distance there in that case. Right. What I really don't want to do is relock this lock, because that would be a travesty. Oh, no, don't do that. Come on. Freaking heck. Right, I am going to come back and find a way of removing that cir-clip. I'll see you in a minute. Right, I got that painful cir-clip off. I ended up having to put it in a vise and push down on either end of the cir-clip with two sharp objects, this thing, and push down, and it popped right off. Just down to technique at the end of the day. Right, so we've still got this upside down. So I want to sort of position it so I can get a shim in here, because I don't want anything dropping into that trap pin hole. So I've done that, and I have bricked the lock in the past. This version here, which is the other side of this lock, I ended up having to grub it because I'd taken part of a trap pin assembly out, put it back together again, rotated it, and then I thought, oh no, I had one of those oh heck moments, and the driver pin dropped into the trap pin hole, and there was no way of freeing it, which was a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, live and learn. See if we can get that shim in there. That's incredibly tight. What's that caught on? Cannot get that in. Alright, what the heck. Let's take a risk. What have I done? Oh no, there you go. Oh right, that's what I'm caught on. Okay, put that there. Come back to those in a second. Yes. Right. Those belong in here. Put this back together again so I can take it apart and know what we're doing. So it's got some key control pins in here. That's what was causing us the problem. It's these things in the side. Little key control pins. They sit in here. Whoa. Like this. Unfortunately, I don't have a key for this lock, so they sit in the side there. Allows you to limit what keys get put in this lock. So put those in there for now. So let's get this emptied. Pin 1's a whopping great driver, steel driver, and a wafer in 2. Another wafer and another wafer. And I'll zoom in on this. So we've got counter milling in the core, which makes life more difficult. Quite a gnarly keyway, and it's that channel there that you've got to get the pick down to hit the trap pin. Very, very fiddly. So let's get. Oh right, yeah. The other thing I didn't take out. This is the trap pin assembly. So in line with. Actually, this one's on 6, not 5. The other lock's on 5. But as you rotate it, the driver skims on the surface of the cylinder, and it will drop into this and jam. Won't rotate any further. And what you're pushing, when you push on the warding, you're pushing on this detent effectively, which pushes the driver back up into this, up into the Bible. So that should come out. Yeah, there you go. And the bit you're actually pushing on with the pick, it's that little nub there that protrudes into the cylinder itself. So it's really, it's only plastic. It's tiny, absolutely tiny. But when I bricked the other lock, I left it out. I didn't put it back in. Hopefully I'll remember to put it back in this time. And so when the driver dropped into that hole, I couldn't push through that tiny hole, which is on the inside of the lock, to free the driver. So I literally ended up having to punch out all the plugs, re-grub it, pull the drivers out that way. So yeah, quite a funky lock actually. Let's have a look at the driver pins. They should, if it's the same as the other lock, I've not gutted this one before. If it's the same, they will all be, yeah, there we go. They are the classic GeGe serrated drivers. Really quite tough pins. That's a second pin though, that's a standard. Get off, steel one. Another serrated pin. That one's a double, which helps explain some of the multiple clicks. That's a standard. Next one's serrated. And the last one is a single. So we've got singles, doubles and trebles in there. And let's just check the Bible. So we'll pull out all the springs. They're all steel springs, which makes for quite a lot of resistance. Anything in that Bible at all? No, it looks smooth. But you can see the corresponding key control pin slots in the side of the hull on either side. Cool. I'll show you the detail of that. In fact, rather than tip this up and just pulling the pins everywhere, we'll just tilt it down like that. So a couple of wafers in it, which does make life, I think, probably a little easier, although, to be honest with you, they all stayed in the cylinder and they didn't get pushed up into the Bible. So that's good, I think. Yeah, double, treble, double, single, and 2 standards. So GeGe picked, gutted, and hopefully to be successfully reassembled so I don't end up bricking this one. Chuffed to pieces to get that one picked. So that's it for this one. Good luck with your picking. Cheers.